Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 knives that I've been carrying the most over the last couple of months. I like to do these types of update videos periodically on what type of knives I'm carrying, and you guys seem to enjoy them. So I'm going to be sharing this with you guys. As per usual, I'll be going over my top 5, but there's always at least one honorable mention. I will link the knives that are available down below, but just keep in mind, not everything on this list is available. These are not comprehensive reviews, by the way. This is a quick sort of top 5 list. If you want to check out the individual comprehensive reviews of each of these knives, you can go back on my channel and check those out. Thanks so much to my generous patrons who are supporting me right now. There's a link for Patreon right down below, and please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you do decide to use the links, that helps my channel, but as is always the case, that is 100% up to you. Starting off here as an honorable mention, the only reason it's not higher on the list is because I just recently acquired it. This is the new and not so new Les George VECP version 3 non-flipper running on phosphor bronze. This is a mid-tech knife, American knife, so it's very expensive. I think these came in at $425. This is not really an overly spectacular knife for 2021. The reason that I own it is because back in 2014, I was stupid enough to buy it and then let it go. And I've been missing it ever since then. I enjoyed the newer flipper version of this, but there's something about the classic VECP that's just fantastic. And I'm so happy to have added this back into the collection. It just makes an excellent user. Haven't really had a lot of time to really take it out and use it, but gosh, the oversized fasteners, the thumb studs, the all stonewash look, right? Very smooth action for phosphor bronze. This is essentially what you get when you cross an XM18 and a Sebenza. Very, very nice knife. Nothing overly spectacular going on here. It's just a really, really good American titanium frame lock. Moving on here to the actual top 5. This knife will also eventually be higher on the list, and that's my Hinder XM18 Eclipse with the newly added titanium textured scales. Lucky enough to snag one of these. Gosh, this knife ends up being really expensive in full tie. The standard version of the Eclipse coming in at $425. Very high-end U.S. manufactured knife from Rick Hinder, and then you're going to pay an additional $200 for a titanium scale. Wow, that's kind of ridiculous. I'm one of the craziest Hinder guys on YouTube. There's a lot of us out there, but I'm one of the crazier ones, right? So I've owned a lot of Hinders. I've owned lots of Eclipses, XM18s. I've always wanted to add a titanium scale to the Eclipse, and this particular Bowie Eclipse, which was a Southern Edges exclusive, is one that I really enjoy, and it's also particularly smooth. Adding the titanium scale is really just for me, just to be like, ooh, it's titanium, right? But that textured tie look just looks fantastic. Not something that I take out and absolutely thrash, right? It's definitely a knife that I don't mind cutting cardboard with. The new tri-way versions of these are just exceptional. Hinder knives continuing to be a heavy hitter. Obviously, they're really difficult to get right now. I will provide links. You just kind of have to be quick. Really happy with this one. Moving on here to number 4. My Spyderco Para 3, which has made the list quite often, right? Recently, I've been carrying it more because of these RGT skinny scales. These are fantastic. These are manufactured in the United States, and they're like 60 to 70 bucks. I will link these down in the description. There's lots of different colors of micarta and some other things right there, right? Para 3, just a really, really good design. It got a pretty good workout here recently, and I just haven't cleaned it off, right? The amount of debris on my knives is not indicative of how much use they get. I just simply forgot to clean this one off. Cleaning off your knives is something that you should do, right? Leaving debris on them, it makes it look a lot cooler when you show it to people like, oh, I used my stuff, right? But also you should clean your knives off, because in this case, this is Maximate. So this is kind of dumb of me to not clean this off. Maximate is not a stainless steel, right? You definitely don't want to have this stuff sitting on Maximate. But anyways, Para 3, fantastic knife. The skinny scales, in my opinion, make it better. And absolutely the inclusion of the MXG deep carry clip, bypassing that stupid lanyard hole. Yeah, this is excellent. The knife is just perfect. Now, this build in particular is very expensive considering the base version of this Maximate Para 3 is 200 bucks. The scales are roughly 60, and the MXG deep carry clip is roughly 20, 25, right? So this is a nearly $300 Spyderco Para 3, but the Para 3 at base can be had for much less than that and is absolutely recommendable. Moving on here, a knife that's going to come to note, it's not going to be a surprise that this is on the list. Of course, the Demco AD 20.5. Why do you show that? We can't get it. Because it's factually something that I'm carrying, which is part of the title of this video, right? I don't want to make something up. This is what I'm carrying. Injection mold plastic and AUS-10A, not everybody's favorite thing in the whole world, but guys, I think it's an inevitability that this thing's going to evolve in late 2021, probably 2022, with different steels, different handle materials, right? If not from Demco directly, then probably from aftermarket companies like Flytanium. Yes, it will still be hard to get. Yes, it will still be expensive, but it's going to change. Even in its base form, right, of AUS-10A and injection mold plastic, this is one of my favorite user knives ever. The Shark Lock, wonderful, right? Love the tumbling on this. The Shark's foot blade, I think, is better for EDC than the clip point or the drop point, whatever you want to call that, right? I reach for this a lot. I just love this knife. It has just become this straightforward tool. I mean, it doesn't matter which hand, right, with the ambidextrous Shark Lock. Very strong, by the way. It's just wonderful. This thing is so easy to manipulate, and I've just loved every second of it. But I think, honestly, this particular version, the whole enthusiast element is gone. It's really just a tool now, which is kind of awesome, right? So, yeah, very cool. Moving on here, this was also a recent acquisition. Nothing new, nothing like, oh my gosh, it's a brand new thing for 2021. I was kicking myself for not having one of these in my collection, so I picked one up and found that I really enjoy carrying it, and that is the Microtech Ultratech. Wow, how boring. An Ultratech black and in drop point, stonewashed drop point, right? Yeah, this is still one of the best EDC OTFs out there if you can legally carry an OTF. The Ultratech is just perfect. It's small enough that you can justify carrying it day to day, right? And you know, like you don't have to. I love my Combat Troodon, but it's just freaking huge. Like this, just a lot easier, right? It's a lot like carrying an automatic, like an OTF version of the Benchmade 940. It's kind of sleek and slender, but still has enough blade, about 3.25 to 3.4 inches of blade to get whatever it is that you're needing to get done. That M390 steel really, you know, really helps drive the nail in for feeling like you're getting your value with this thing, because these are $290-ish at base right now, but still super recommendable, US made. Definitely something that I am enjoying very much. They carry nice. Pocket clip's not my favorite thing in the world, and I definitely don't need that glass breaker, right? Since I'm just going to the grocery store sometimes and maybe cutting open a package here or there, right? But the Microtech Ultratech, still very competitive, very, very recommendable. It does have some competition now. It does, right? Some real U.S. competition. I'm not talking about the phonies and the fakers out there pretending to be U.S. made. I'm talking about real U.S. Manufacturing. It does have a little bit of competition, but still one of the best things that you can get for the roughly $280 to $300 mark. And then finally, a knife that I cannot keep out of my pocket. It has continuously made this list. Oh, my Rockstead Hego2. Wow. Definitely the most expensive knife that I have continuously carried. It's just, if you don't know, this is a $1,500 knife. Oh God, I know. But here's the thing. Being the owner of this knife, I'm open to admit, number one, nobody needs to spend this much on a pocket knife. Nobody, right? But I didn't buy this because I was like, I need $1,500 of cutting performance. No, that's stupid. I bought this because I like it. I like the idea. Well, I like the aesthetic of it. I love what goes into the blade and the potential for the cutting performance, right? Think what you want about the price, but factually, this thing will outcut pretty much anything on the market and has done that. Rockstead has taken that performance of ZDP 189 and bumped it way up on their knives because of how they do the grind, how they do the final edge, which is basically a zero edge, and then mirror polishing it, right? Proving that it's not just composition and heat treat that results in incredible performance. You add in geometry and you can really bump that up to some crazy levels. This will massively outcut regular production M390, S90V, S110V, even steels like Maximate, and probably approaching near, equal to, or above your Rex 121/S125Vs when properly heat treated. Again, because of the way that Rockstead does the geometry, and the final edge. This thing is a monster. There are plenty of cut test performance videos on Rockstead knives on YouTube demonstrating exactly what these types of knives are capable of. Now, me personally, I'm never going to push it that far. Like I said, I don't need this. I bought it because I wanted it. And I also think it's pretty overpriced. Truthfully, this feels more like a $1,100, $1,200 knife than a $1,500 knife, right? Once we start pushing way past production Shirogorov territory, it makes me a little uncomfortable saying, yeah, it's worth it. So, you know, I own this. I'm fully aware that I probably overpaid for it, but it is an absolute cutting monster. Titanium liners, that wood look carbon fiber that they've got, the liner lock, this is just wonderful. It's really, really been a joy. The pocket clip is kind of an aesthetic bummer for being such an expensive knife, but you know what? It works. I wish it was better. Believe me, I agree with you. I wish the clip was something more special. It's not, but it works. It's really, really great. I don't think this video needed to be much longer than it is. I always enjoy doing these. I'll get these knives back out for you guys to take a look at. Like I said, I will link the stuff that's available. Rockstead knives are definitely knives that are available. I mean, mainly because they're so expensive, right? Para 3, definitely available. The Ultratech, definitely available. Probably not the Eclipse, right? Sorry, just pay attention to your favorite retailers and maybe you'll get lucky and one of them will drop while you're happening to be there. And then the Les George VECP, I imagine, will periodically be available as well. These are a blast to carry. I've really enjoyed these. I'm really happy with my rotation over the last couple of months. That's going to be pretty much it today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you did enjoy this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.